Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. In this video, I want to talk about the ultimate investment strategy, the Bitcoin strategy. Let me explain. First of all, I've been talking about this for a couple days now, but yes, this is basically the first time in history where U.S. credit was downgraded, or credit rating was downgraded from AAA status down to AA+, which is still pretty good, but we're no longer at the top, which is AAA. And guys like Jamie Dimon thinks this is ridiculous, but people are starting to notice this, pay attention to the fact that the U.S. is irresponsible with its money. And many people in Bitcoin has been saying this for a long time. Even people that are in gold and silver and precious metals have been saying this. And that is why so many people turn to either precious metals or Bitcoin, because this has been talked about for years, right? And whenever something catastrophic happens or a new standard takes over, it doesn't happen right away. It happens in phases. It starts out slowly and then moves into something new, right? So are we seeing the beginnings of that? The U.S. credit rating being downgraded, okay, countries getting off the USD standard, and more people embracing a digital currency like Bitcoin over a fiat currency, right? This all plays into it. This all ties into it. But going back to the Bitcoin strategy, you know what? Who made this popular? Michael Saylor. Even though Michael Saylor only came into the market in 2020, right? So he's not really an OG. I even came in before Michael Saylor, but you got to give him credit. He came in and made a huge purchase, like I think at the time 250 million or something like that, right? Make a big splash. He's definitely OG in terms of leading the corporate world, institutions, and getting them to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet. And he, of course, has done most of that. 150,000 Bitcoins on MicroStrategy's balance sheet, right? That is, you got to give him credit for that. He came up with the Bitcoin strategy, and he says that they will continue the course even though Bitcoin ETFs are coming. But take a look at this, right? His Bitcoin strategy. Since August of 2020, MicroStrategy stock is up about 254%. You can see that even is better than Bitcoin and S&P and NASDAQ. And look at all the big tech companies, right? And even enterprise software. None of them have outperformed MicroStrategy stock nor Bitcoin, right? That is why the Bitcoin strategy works. Short-term volatility, from top to bottom, of course. There are periods where Bitcoin strategy may seem like it's not the best one, but when you stretch it out over long periods of time, you'll realize it is the ultimate strategy. And if you go back to 2017 or 2014 or all the way back, you'll see that, yeah, Bitcoin strategy is the one that you want to be in. Volatility is super low. Take a look, 10-day volatility for Bitcoin falling below the average of stocks, bonds, and gold, right? So something's brewing right now. Something's building, okay? And we have seen this before. Whenever something like this happens, it's kind of like the calm before the storm. And you can see right now, volatility is basically as low as 2016 when Bitcoin was recovering from bottom of 160 something, and boom to 20,000. I mean, I don't think we're going to see the same kind of climb, but volatility is so low right now. It's replicating these previous periods right before Bitcoin skyrockets upwards, okay? And the exchange balances continues to go down and down and down and down. Guess what? Right there. That's when, pretty much on the dot, when Michael Saylor implemented his Bitcoin strategy for MicroStrategy, right? And since then, many other institutions have gotten in. Of course, recently everyone's focused on BlackRock and Fidelity and all these big boys, but Michael Saylor, man, ever since he came into the space, right around that time, with him and institutions buying and retail investors all turning to Bitcoin and crypto, right? That's why that happened, and I believe that will continue to go down, and someday it's going to get so low like this. That's when Bitcoin's price is going to be much, much, much higher. All right, outside of Bitcoin strategy today, I saw a couple other things. There's still a lot of talk about Curve and its founder. The founder just basically, I mean, he took out an irresponsible loan. He put down so much Curve and borrowed $100 million worth of USDT and others. Right now, since Curve is crashing, there's many people fearful that he might get liquidated, and Curve might be liquidated as well. So there's just a lot of things going on. So now you got a lot of these other guys like Aave's founder and Huobi's founder, right, now saying they're supporting Curve and its founder by buying Curve tokens. But, you know, honestly, I think this is just to save themselves, because Aave, for example, has a 70 million USDT loan given out to the Curve founder, and I don't think they want to see him liquidated, nor Huobi, nor anyone else that are involved. So it's really, I think that's what it is. It's a bailout, and they're trying desperately to prop up the price. But, you know, again, leverage, right? Leverage is just a bad thing. When you take out a loan, right, you have to worry about that. You have to worry about the underlying collateral. And the same thing with, it's essentially leverage. And the same thing, if you take out a 10x, 100x trade, right? Leverage is a very dangerous thing. And some of these guys are playing with hundreds of millions of dollars, which is insane if you ask me. And then lastly, I see this Binance, you know, they're still strong as ever. CZ says that their user base grew to 150 million despite all the FUD and regulatory lawsuits, which is kind of insane. But there definitely is a lot more, a lot more talks about regulators coming down on Binance recently from across the world. You know, it's hard to tell if it's FUD or not, but right now they are still the big daddy for sure. And I saw this. They listed their new stablecoin, FDUSD, for both Bitcoin and ETH, free trading with zero fees. And finally, this, remember this story about these two supposedly being the Bitfinex hackers and money launderers, right? I guess the guy admitted to being the original Bitfinex hacker. I don't know much about the guy, but the girl, she had some rap videos and stuff like that I was posting on YouTube. Didn't seem like she was the type that was able to help steal 160,000 Bitcoins, right? But, you know, I guess you can't judge a book by its cover. All right, that is pretty much, you know, the Bitcoin strategy is a good one. I know there's times where it's volatile, times it's boring, right? Especially recently, we've seen some up and downs, but still overall, it's just going sideways. But the Bitcoin strategy works. It works. You just have to have some patience, and better days are coming. All right, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.